Defender of Freedom, uploading data log for days 262 through 276 of the Second Galactic War. Hello Data Archive. We are pleased to hear that maintenance operations at the Archive have completed successfully, but there is much to catch up on. In the last 2 weeks, Helldivers were pushed to their limits to meet High Command's orders, saving millions of citizens who have been evacuated to work aboard the DSS. And as we enter the final phase to activate the Democracy Space Station, it appears the Jet Brigade is mobilizing once more for an imminent attack. We last left off following Liberty Day with no new major orders. Helldivers were able to continue to liberate the galaxy as they pleased. And throughout this time, the Crimson planets Gautria and Yet Prior was simultaneously attacked on both fronts. Gautria was chosen over Yet Prior, and at the start of the day, Gautria was defended and Yet Prior was lost. Focus then shifted to Acer Pass and Fact Bay until 2 new automaton attacks reached Blistica and Mentoria, immediately followed by new orders from High Command. Multiple strategic priorities have arisen, all requiring immediate attention. An automaton database on Mentar Bay has been discovered, which may yield key intel on the fabrication planet of the automaton Jet Brigade. Simultaneously, the Terminated Research Preserve and Tyranny Park have been exposed, and rectifying the security breach is of utmost importance. And lastly, the automatons appear to be planning an imminent territorial expansion, and we cannot allow for this to occur either. Thus the major order is to liberate Matar Bay, Pandion 24, Crux, as well as defend against 5 automaton attacks. A tall order, but nothing not fit for the Helldivers. Helldivers began the efforts by splitting between Matar and Fact Bay to liberate the database, as well as secure warp links to Pandion 24. Choosing to strategically complete the orders in piecemeal, Fact Bay was liberated, but necessary losses in Mentoria and Blistica followed on day 264. Matar Bay and Pandion continued to be the focus, however this shifted when a new attack reached Marfark from Matar Bay. As only good fortune shines on those pursuing liberty, a warfront development was shared from High Command, advising that a catastrophic weather event on Matar Bay has decimated the Socialist Toasters, leading to resistance on Matar Bay to plummet, and in addition, the liberation of the planet was increased by 10%. Now with next to no resistance and the liberation of the planet so close to completion, liberating Matar Bay would shut down the Marfark attack, simultaneously completing 2 requirements for the major order. Thus Helldivers split with the majority of Matar Bay, liberating the planet and shutting down the attack by the morning of day 265. The database at Matar Bay was secured, 1 objective down, 2 more to go. Focus shifted to Pandion 24 until a new attack was launched by the automatons on... the
Zania system.
Well, Zania Prime, obviously. Eager to continue to stop the spread of electronic idiot, forces split between Zania Prime and Pandion, and with quick action from the Helldivers, the desert planet was defended successfully by the end of the day. Focus returned to Pandion 24 until midday on day 266, when the chilly Demiurge was attacked by the freedom-hating microwaves. Helldivers repeated the successful strategy of the previous day, and split forces between Demiurge and Pandion 24. By the next day, the strategy paid off. Pandion 24 saw liberation, and by early morning, Demiurge was successfully defended. This was amazing progress by the Helldivers, but in 2 days, 2 more automaton defenses were required, along with the liberation of Crux. Focus remained on Crux until Claurel was attacked. With the Deep Mantle Forge complex in danger, Helldivers were quick to deploy to its defense. Once again, this split forces between Crux and Claurel, and by early day 268, Claurel was successfully defended. Progress continued on Crux until yet another attack reached Curia, but much like previous days, the attack was easily shut down, successfully defending 5 automaton attacks and a second objective for the major order. With only Crux left to complete the major order, Helldivers focused on the planet through the night into the next day. Despite the relentless efforts by the Helldivers, unfortunately, we were unable to liberate Crux in time, resulting in the failure of the major order. We were too slow to prevent the risk of an external attack, making it necessary to double the security at the preserve, but 2 out of the 3 objectives of the major order were still successfully achieved. We were able to gather valuable intel from the automaton database on Matar Bay, learning of the Jet Brigade's staging ground, wherein they gather before large offensives. There is more to be learned from the decrypted data, but it seems as though the Jet Brigade is recovering quickly. Automaton territorial expansion was also significantly limited, with only 2 defenses lost. Fortunately, just hours later, we were able to liberate the Crux before anything could happen to the Terminid Research Preserve or Tyranny Park. It seems we will live another day to frolic amongst the Terminid playground. It also seems the Terminid population inside the preserve has grown exponentially. But I'm sure there is absolutely nothing to be worried about, especially Tyranny Park. In addition, an intel advisory was shared by High Command, indicating imminent Terminid attacks on Gloom-adjacent planets. And surely enough, on the morning of Day 270, Terminid attacks occurred on Socorro 3 and Esker, when we then received a new major order from High Command. Our Democracy space station is currently in its 3rd construction phase and is nearing completion. This democratic behemoth requires 1.3 million skilled workers to be relocated to the DSS. Ever-patriotic Super Earth citizens are more than eager to serve, but will require a significant relocation effort. And it seems that the most eager to serve correspond with colonists on planets affected by recent bug attacks on the Gloom border. The major order is to defend against 8 Terminid attacks in 6 days, while maintaining control over Sirius, Tarek, and Angel's Venture. With the size of the incoming attacks, Helldivers first dove to Esker to maintain the planets that were buffering the designated planets. While the defense was successful by the morning of the next day, unfortunately, Socorro 3 could not be saved. And a few hours later, 3 more Terminid outbreaks occurred on Errata Prime, Fenrir 3, and Astanu. Fenrir 3 was successfully defended by the morning of Day 272. Helldivers then had a choice. Both Errata Prime and Astanu were in need of significant reinforcements, and it was likely that only one of the 2 could be saved. As if not defending the single most defended planet in this war was an option, Astanu was reinforced, allowing for 2 of the 3 attacks to be defended. But the mindless expansionist nature of the Gloom was unrelenting, with 3 more attacks just hours later on Boar Rock, Esker, and Heath. Although a gambit was available to stop both attacks from Errata Prime, this was the first campaign on Heath since May 30th, when we were just hours away from beginning our deployments to Meridia. Helldivers chose to dive to a snowy ice planet on the Terminid front for the first time in over 5 months. And by the morning of the next day, Heath was successfully defended. Once again in a familiar circumstance, Boar Rock was chosen over Esker, and Helldivers once again successfully defended 2 out of 3 Terminid attacks. With 5 attacks already successfully defended, and still a buffer to all 3 designated planets, Helldivers were already significantly overachieving for this major order. Seemingly frustrated by their inability to comprehend absolutely anything, 2 massive Terminid outbreaks occurred on Astanu and Crimsica. Progress on the defenses went through the night into the next day, and once again, Astanu was successfully defended. This left Crimsica with only 6.5 hours left to defend, and the defense was over 28% behind. Reinforcements from Astanu rushed to Crimsica and successfully completed the defense with only 36 minutes remaining. Now with only 1 defense remaining, a single Terminid attack broke out on Boar Rock, defending the final required planet to ensure the DSS will be sufficiently staffed. Helldivers once again easily squished the bug attack, successfully completing the requirements for the major order. And following this, it seems the valiant defense efforts of the Helldivers have significantly impacted the Terminids, plummeting Terminid resistance on Errata Prime and Esker. For the remainder of the day into the next, Helldivers dove to reclaim Errata Prime and the Umlaut sector, until the morning of Day 276, when the major order was successful. Helldivers have successfully evacuated citizens of all ages to the DSS. These evacuees now all have generous contracts and are attending accelerated boot camps in orbital weapons handling. Now with the DSS fully staffed, there is but one final phase. Activating the DSS will require filling its 20-story reusable fuel tanks with E710. No further instruction was provided by High Command for the remainder of the day. Helldivers retook Errata Prime and then moved on to Trandor, and new orders arrived for the final phase of the DSS the next morning. The time has finally come to activate the DSS. The sole remaining step will be to obtain enough E710 to power its state-of-the-art high-efficiency Alcubierre drives. However, haste will be critical. The rebuilt automaton jet brigade has been spotted once again on Vernon Wells, and the attack on the DSS logistics hub on Tarsh is likely imminent. And once online, the DSS will immediately connect to every Helldiver super destroyer from the galactic maps. This is it, Helldivers. We must not allow our enemies to stop all of our efforts up until this point. The major order is to kill 500 million Terminids, as well as maintain control of Yelavar. In the opening hours, progress is trending very well on killing Terminids, but as we expected, the Automaton Jet Brigade attacked Tarsh, with seemingly the strongest attack we've ever seen in this war. Helldivers forces split in half, with half holding back the Jet Brigade and the other harvesting E710. Time is of the essence, and we must end this data log here, Data Archive. We will be reporting in again as soon as possible.